Hi, everyone. Welcome again to Ivy English. I'm Bruce.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
Well, today is July 4th. It's Independence Day in the United States.
Woo!
Yay! And today, here in Taiwan, we are going to be talking about why onions make us cry.
That's a good
Segue.
a nice ironic segue.
What is a segue?
Something that follows.
这 sequence 那个字的字根同一个
Right.
跟着来的意思啊。好，那我们今天呢是7月4日是美国的独立纪念日，也是美国的国庆。那我们今天这篇文章的中文标题是洋葱为何总让你哭
Okay, I'll read through the 3 paragraphs here, this article, and then we'll go back, as we always do, sentence by sentence for you. You're in the kitchen, and suddenly there are tears pouring down your cheeks. Normally, this would indicate feelings of sadness or pain. In this case, it is caused by the fact that you are cutting an onion. Anyone that has chopped up an onion is familiar with this uncomfortable and painful feeling. What you might not know is exactly why it happens. The short story is that this is a defensive mechanism used by onions to fend off predators. An onion needs to survive for a full year before the plant flowers and can reproduce. The long version requires a more detailed look into an onion's chemistry. Many plants, such as the cactus, seek protection through physical barriers, or, like broccoli, bitter tastes. The onion is one of only 3 known plants that essentially engage in chemical warfare. The tear-producing substance an onion releases is called Lacrymatory factor, or LF. Within this bulb-shaped vegetable are 2 chemicals that are stored in separate areas and harmless on their own. However, when an onion cell is broken, these 2 substances mix and form LF, which is basically a tear gas. When this gas hits our eyes, our sensory nerves respond and cause our eyes to itch and water. The bad news for the onion is that this vegetable is so tasty that people are willing to put up with the unpleasant, stinging feeling it causes. In what may come as no surprise, scientists in Japan have created a no-cry version. However, it apparently doesn't taste like an onion.
So you can't have an onion without tears, apparently.
所以呢你要吃 onion 就一定得哭看起来是这样子
You can't get the pleasure without the pain. No. You're in the kitchen, and suddenly there are tears pouring down your cheeks. This is a common scenario when you're chopping onions.
好，所以呢 you're in the kitchen 你是在厨房里面，然后呢突然 suddenly 突然有 tears 眼泪 pouring down your cheeks 眼泪呢像这个涌流倾泻而下在你的这个脸颊上面。好，这个 pour 就是涌流涌就是3点水加一个勇敢的勇那涌流或者倾泻的意思。好 to flow in a steady stream 就是一个 pour。Normally,
this would indicate feelings of sadness or pain. We normally think of tears paired with crying, and we cry when we feel sad or feel pain.
Normally, 一般来说呢，就正常情况之下 this would indicate indicate 就是 to be a sign of something 就是这个显示通常这显示怎么样呢？显示的是feelings of sadness or pain 也就是掉眼泪通常表示呢你是有一点难过的感觉或者是一点痛苦的感觉 feelings of sadness and pain or pain.
Now, in this case, it is caused by the fact that you are cutting an onion. It's caused by something. It's caused by a fact. What's the fact? The fact is you are cutting an onion. In our kitchen, we tend to joke about this. Like, are you okay? The onions are being really mean to me.
所以你在掉眼泪的时候，可能旁边人看到你就跟你开玩笑说你还好吧？那你就可以说这个 onion 对我真的很坏害我一直哭这样子那我们看到这个句，他说 in this case 在这个情况下，在我们这里谈的这个情况呢， 这个 it 就是指你的眼泪哈，你的眼泪呢，或者是你把它看成流眼泪这件事情啊 ，is caused by the fact that 它是由什么所造成呢？这个事实造成的事实就是原因就是 you are cutting an onion， 你在切一个洋葱。
Anyone that has chopped up an onion is familiar with this uncomfortable and painful feeling. Well, if you never had this experience,
go chop an onion up and discover the joy.
And if you tear, don't worry about it. That's a natural reaction.
What's your baseline technique for dealing with onion tear gas?
Take off the outer skin and soak it in water for 5 minutes.
That helps?
Yeah.
Oh, we just chop it right by we turn on the oven fan, not the oven fan, the stove fan, and wear glasses.
Well, you could
the
wear
fumes
goggles.
Are carried away. Right, you could actually, but I mean, actually, regular glasses are enough if you've got the stove fan on.
Well, sounds like my solution is the best.
Oh,
don't cut onions.
No, I let my wife cut it.
You outsource the pain to your wife. I see.
Well, if you want to put it that way.
I think your wife might have an opinion about this.
所以刚刚这个 Bruce 我们开玩笑啦，不过当 Bruce 老师说，他切洋葱的时候，他把那个外皮先剥掉之后，泡水5分钟，他说这样子可以大量的减少那种刺激的感觉啊。那这个 Angela 老师他们就比较传统的方法，就直接用那个电扇排气的这个电扇把它吹掉啊。不过还是应该很难避免的。那我们看到这个句子，他说呢，任何一个人他曾经 chopped up 啊，这个 chop 这个字就是中文的那个切那个动作哈。那你如果用英文去解释的话，其实各位你要这个英文能力要变好的话，你要想办法能够用英文去解释英文啊。那 chop 其实就是首先当然是个 cut 这个动作啊，但是它是 cut with repeated。是重复的，因为你切不可能这个切一刀，通常切洋葱切好几刀嘛，所以 repeated now heavy， 而且重重的切啊，你不是轻轻的啪啪啪这样子，好像重重的稍微用一点的切，所以 you cut with repeated heavy blows of a knife 啊，这个叫做 chop 的这个意思啊，所以任何切过洋葱的人呢，都 is familiar with 都很熟悉这种 uncomfortable 这种不舒服的，然后呢很 painful 很痛苦的这种感觉。
We also use chop with axe.
对，这个 chop 还有除了 knife 之外，也常常是用 axe， 所以各位知道那个劈啊、砍啊那种感觉，那个都是 repeated heavy blows。好，那你这样去记这个。
Well, no wonder you're crying.
真的所以难怪这个你你在斩这个洋葱那可能这个你难怪会哭嘛。
What you might not know, so everyone knows that onions cause you to cry when you're chopping them, but what you might not know is exactly why it happens. The exactly in this sentence is there just for emphasis, because why it happens and exactly why it happens are exactly the same thing.
所以 what you might not know 你所可能不知道的是什么呢？是 exactly why it happens 到底是为了什么？究竟是什么原因使得你切洋葱的时候会掉眼泪？
Okay, the second paragraph. The short story is that this is a defensive mechanism used by onions to fend off predators. The short story is in a nutshell. We're going to tell you the fact and why this happens in a very simple, clear way. And this simple, clear way is that the juice of the onion, let's call it, is a defensive mechanism. It's a way for an animal or plant to protect itself. The best example I know of in the animal world is the good old skunk. Do you have skunks in Wisconsin?
Boy, do we ever.
Okay. Yeah, so you know, during the night, for example, in the countryside, you can be driving through with your windows open and feeling comfortable, and suddenly is that horrendous smell of roadkill skunk. And it lasts for miles and miles and miles.
Yeah. I can smell for miles and miles.
这个 Bruce 老师他说呢，这个defense mechanism 有一个很有名的例子，就是臭鼬它会发出很臭很难闻的这个味道那刚刚 Bruce 老师问这个Angela 老师说，你的家乡 Wisconsin 有没有这个臭鼬呢？那这个 Angela 老师说 ，Boy, do we ever? What does that mean?
It means not only do we have them, we have a lot of them.
所以要注意那 do we ever 它意思是我们不但是有，而且有很多的意思好，那我们回来看看这个句子。他说呢，这个 the short story is that 就是简单的说法是这样子。换句话说就是to put it in a nutshell nutshell 就是 nutshell to put it in a nutshell 就是简而言之简单的说。那简单的说呢，简单的说法，这是一个防御的或者防卫的一个机制used by onions 是这个洋葱所用的一个防卫机制，目的是要 fend off 就是挡开避开defend yourself from something 叫 fend off 它避开挡开 predators 就是这个掠食者，也就是说要来这个侵略或者掠食洋葱的这个不管是人或者动物那是一个防御的机制。
An onion needs to survive for a full year before the plant flowers and can reproduce. So what we're saying is that an onion needs an entire year to complete its life cycle. Because if you kill an onion before it reproduces, that onion has no purpose species-wise. So they need to have a strategy. And since onions have a lot of sugar in them, which is why we love to eat them, because they're actually sweet, even though they have that bitter bit, it's the sweet plus the bitter that makes the onion so amazing. So because they're sweet, they have to protect themselves some other way, and so they turned to chemical warfare. As you do.
好，所以这个onion 呢，它需要 survive， 它需要存活continue to live or exist for a full year， 它必须要存活一整年，它的这个才能够 before the plant 指的就是这个 onion 在这它能够 flowers 在这里是动词就是开花 produce flowers， 而且可以这个 reproduce 能够这个繁殖那所以洋葱在能够开花繁殖之前，它必须要能够存活一整年所以它才需要 fend off predators。
I like that they used a full year. That's a good collocation to remember because it means not 9 months, not 10 months. It has to be a whole or full 12 months, a full year.
一整年的意思，英文可以说 a full year。
The long version requires a more detailed look into an onion's chemistry. So we've seen the nutshell, the short story. Now we're going to take a look at the long version or the long story, but to do so, we need a detailed look, a very careful and fine investigation into an onion's chemistry.
好，所以 the long version 就是这个比较长的这个版本或者比较长的说法 requires 需要什么呢？需要 a more detailed look 就是更仔细的看一看 into 看什么呢？ into 就是往里面看，看得深入一点所以要深入的仔细看一看一个 onion 它的这个化学结构 chemistry 就是指它的化学或者它的化学它的运作方式或者化学的结构。所以你如果要讲的仔细一点的话呢，我们就要仔细的看一看这个化学这个 onion 的化学结构。
So many plants, such as the cactus, seek protection. They seek to protect themselves through physical barriers, things that are a physical structure that will fend off predators. And a favorite one in the plant world is spikes. Basically, if you're going to bite something and you're going to hit a bunch of spikes, you're going to think again about biting that thing. And so a lot of plants like spikes as a physical barrier. But other plants, like broccoli, use a bitter taste. Like they're bitter, and so an animal will taste it and be like, broccoli.
Yeah,
I'm not an animal, but I don't like broccoli.
You very much are an animal? Human beings are animals?
Yes, I know.
Okay.
所以这个
Because you're not a plant and you're not a stone, so what else could you be?
Yeah, 这个花椰菜呢，它是用它的苦味来让这个掠食者keep the predators away 那这个Bruce 老师刚刚开玩笑说它是个动物，可是他不 You like it or you don't like?
Dislike.
Oh, okay. Well, I happen to like it. 这个
I know, me too.
Yeah. 所以有的人喜欢花椰菜，有的人不喜欢那我们看到不过都是人就对了 Yeah. That doesn't exclude you from the human being. 好，那我们来看这个句子有很多的植物呢，例如说什么 cactus 就是仙人掌那他们会干嘛呢？ Seek protection 就是他们会追求保护就是他们要寻求保护 Seek 就是 try to find 哈，那他们想要寻求保护，怎么样寻求保护呢？透过 through 就是透过什么呢 ？physical barriers 好 ，barriers 就是障碍或者屏障啊，那就是 obstacle 的意思啊 ，obstacle 哈，这个 obstacle 哈 obstacle。那 physical 在这里呢，就是你可以碰到的，也就是有形的啊，这个有形的啊，可以被触摸到的这样的一种障碍。所以有的这个植物呢，它就是用这种障碍来这个让掠食者却步。那例如说，刚刚 Angela 讲到最常见的就是 spikes 啊 ，spike S-P-I-K-E 好 ，spike 就是植物的那个刺啊，像玫瑰啊、仙人掌都会有刺的。好，或者是呢，除了仙人掌之外，例如说这个broccoli 就是花椰菜啊，它这里打一个逗点，后面加 bitter tastes 啊，其实那个逗点就表示它省略了前面的 seek protection through 什么什么啊，因为前面已经讲过了，所以这里它不用再说啊 ，like broccoli seek protection through bitter tastes， 它不用再把这 seek protection through 把它讲出来，它直接省略掉，然后打一个逗点，就代表它省略了这些字。
So we find that many plants either use physical barriers or bitter tastes, but the onion is one of only 3 known plants that essentially engage in chemical warfare. Chemical warfare is the use of poisons, poisonous gases to blow over to the enemy and kill them in that way.
Or releasing bombs amidst the enemy of it. But they're all illegal through the Geneva Conventions of War, are they not?
I believe all the ones that were discovered by that time are. If there are new ones, I don't know if they automatically become...
Does tear gas count as chemical warfare? That's interesting.
It is a kind of chemical warfare,
it
but
is.
It won't kill you.
I guess because it won't kill you, so it's not a non-lethal chemical, I guess.
好，所以这 chemical warfare 就是这个化学战争。好，那这个现在至少在日内瓦公约签订之前啊，这个那些那个时候之前所知道那些毒气啊，什么芥子气啊那种毒气啊，是已经不能使用在战争当中了。这日内瓦公约所说的啊，那刚刚 Bruce 老师跟 Angela 好多人就是那个在那个日内瓦公约之后的所发明的那些毒气算不算呢？这个我们就不确定啊。那不过有一点就是，如果说是这个催泪瓦斯啊，它不算是 chemical warfare， 因为它不会让人丧失生命。那我们再来看看这个句子，他说这个the onion 就是洋葱这种东西的意思。好，洋葱这种东西呢是3个已知从事化学战争的植物其中的一个。one of the only 只有 3个 known plants 我们所知道的植物。那这3个植物呢是 essentially 就是本质上它其实是一种这个强调哈 ，it's used to emphasize the basic 或者是 fundamental nature of something 好，所以这个地方呢 essentially 其实它本质上基本上呢这3种植物它就是 engage in 就是 involve in 他们从事着 chemical warfare 他们从事的这个化学战争，他们用化学战争的方法来这个抵挡或者是驱散这个掠食者。
The tear-producing substance an onion releases is called lacrymatory factor, or LF. Lacrymatory is an interesting word. Lacrima is having to do with tears. In fact, songs that were lamenting people's deaths are called lacrimosa. That's the name of this kind of song. So it's tear-making factor because tory is an ending that has to do with producing, like factory. So lacrymatory factor is tear-producing factor, or LF.
OK， 那这种 tear producing 会让你流泪的这种 substance 物质啊，那这种物质是 that an onion releases 啊，一个洋葱它所释放的这种会让你流泪的物质呢 is called 被称为lacrymatory factor 啊，这个 lacrymatory 就是这个 causing tears 会让你流泪的催泪的啊，那这个字的字根啊就是眼泪的意思啊，那这个T-O-R-Y 这个字尾常常表示 producing 的意思，所以就是 producing tears。好，那 or 这个 factor 当然是个因素，所以叫催泪因子，或者简称 LF。
Within this bulb-shaped vegetable are 2 chemicals that are stored in separate areas and harmless on their own. Well, the onion is bulb-shaped. It depends on what kind of bulb you're talking about. Today's light bulbs are of many different shapes.
But they used to be round, which is where it comes from.
The one you've seen in the cartoons, aha, where someone has an idea, that's the bulb that they're talking about here. That's the shape of an onion. And in different parts of the onion, there are chemicals, different chemicals. As long as they are separate, away from each other, they are harmless.
好，那 within 在这一个这个 bulb shaped 这个 bulb 你可以说想到一个这种圆形的电灯泡或者是漫画里面有那个角色在讲话的时候冒出来旁边那个写他的那个内心想法讲的话的那个泡泡都可以，反正都是圆的。所以这像这个圆圆的 shaped 圆圆形状的这个蔬菜里面呢，有两种化学物质 are two chemicals that are stored， 这两种物质呢被储存在 separate 分开来的 areas 分开来的区域。然后呢 they are harmless on their own. On their own 就是本身，它们本身是无害的，因为它们分别储存了两个不同的区域。
However, when an onion cell is broken, within the cell, I guess, these two substances mix and form LF, which is basically a tear gas.
好，但是呢，当一个洋葱它的细胞被打破的时候，就是你把它切开或怎么样的时候呢，这两个 substances 这两个物质就会 mix 混合，就形成的这个 LF 形成的催泪因子。那这个催泪因子 which is basically 基本上是一个 tear gas 是一个催泪瓦斯。
Let's just talk articles for a second. Normally we would just say tear gas. We wouldn't say or the because tear gas is non-count. The reason why we're saying here is that we're saying a kind of tear gas.
好，可以注意tear gas 它本来是不可数的那但是这里呢我们加了一个 a 表示它是 a kind of tear gas.
When this gas hits our eyes, our sensory nerves respond and cause our eyes to itch and water. So the two chemicals come together. They produce a new chemical in a gas form that wafts up and into your eyes that our senses don't like. And the eye protects itself by tearing to get rid of the gas.
好，所以当这一个气体呢 hits our eyes， 它碰到我们的眼睛的时候我们的 sensory nerves， 我们的感觉神经就会 respond， 就会回应，就会反应，然后呢就 cause our eyes， 这个使得我们的眼睛干嘛呢 ？cause A to do B 那让我们的眼睛干嘛呢？第一个 itch 就是痒，这是不及物动词第二个 water 在这里也是不及物动词 ，water 就是在这里就流眼泪的意思，它本来的意思是 produce tears or saliva 其实这个流口水也可以用 water 这个动词。
Your mouth waters.
Yeah， 那嘴巴流口水
Yeah.So the bad news for the onion is that this vegetable is so tasty. Like, we're like, ooh, onion equals delicious. So people are willing to put up with the tear gas, with the unpleasant stinging feeling it causes. However, this is good news for the onion because people will help it reproduce, which is a net gain on a species level.
不过从另外一个角度来看这个因为人们喜欢吃，就会去种这个洋葱，所以它这个品种可以继续延续所以有好有坏了。不过我们来看这个地方，他说 The bad news for the onion is that 对他们来讲，对洋葱来讲，坏消息是它这个 this vegetable 就是指 onion 非常好吃 ，so tasty， 好吃到什么程度呢？人们愿意 put up with 就是。tolerate 愿意忍受这个 unpleasant 这个很不舒适的 stinging 这个刺痛的感觉 it causes 所以太好吃了，所以有点这个 unpleasant stinging feeling 没有关系，照吃。
In what may come as no surprise, scientists in Japan have created a no-cry version. That a version is a type of something, and this is a type of onion only in Japan.Where they can grow square vegetables so that they can be put into boxes more efficiently. Now they have onions that when you cut them, you won't cry.
In what may come as no surprise 这句话整句话意思就是也许令人毫不意外的让你不觉得意外的是什么呢？日本的科学家他们已经 created 他们已经创造出来一种 no cry version 就是一个不流泪的洋葱。
However, it apparently doesn't taste like an onion, which makes you go, what's the point?
Apparently 就是看起来似乎是这样子所以但是呢看起来这个不流泪的洋葱似乎是 doesn't taste like an onion 显然它 味道不像一个洋葱啊，所以呢，这个有的人就觉得啊，我还是愿意吃那种会让我哭的洋葱。
All right, hope you learned something today. I didn't know about the LF and why onions make us cry. It was interesting and fun. We'll be back whenever we can this month. Please stay tuned and join us for English lessons.